Hey guys, I'm Marcus Buff Bagwell. We've talked a bunch about how much money I made at WCW. $3,150,000 in contract money. That's not counting not a t-shirt sale, not an action figure sale. That's not counting any extras, appearances, signings, video games, the movies I did. There was only a couple, but there was a couple movies I done. So, I don't count any of that. And there wasn't a whole lot of money there, but still the breakdown for WCW money, $3,150,000 in 10 years. So that's a pretty good decade. But we have not talked about how much money I made at the WWF. The reason we ain't talked much about it is there wasn't much made. So when I went into the WWF, the reason why you saw Diamond Dallas Page, Booker T, and Marcus Buff Bagwell first is because our contracts were up. They were coming up. Mine was ending in June or July. I can't quite remember, but it was coming up. And Booker's must have been the same, and Dallas's also had to be the same because we wouldn't have been there if not. We would have sat at home and got paid. But I had a lot of bad press, call it, bad rumors on me that some of them were true, but most were not, about hard to deal with. He's hard to deal with. He's argumentative. Several things. I said some true, but mostly wasn't true. And WCW guys knew that those rumors wasn't true, but the WWF guys didn't. So it was a big deal me coming in. They were going to see what kind of person I was, if I was this horrible to get along with person, or if I was really a good guy like I was, or what was going to happen. So when I came in, I had about 60 grand, if I remember correctly. I had about $60,000 left on my contract. And the idea I came up with, my agent at the time was a guy named Brad Small, and Dallas had the same agent. And I remember coming up with this idea on my own, and I said, what if we just gave Vince what he owes me and just be the first one to sign? And my agent goes, Brad Small goes, that's the best idea I've ever heard. That's excellent. So my agent calls him up and says, hey, don't worry about what you owe Mark on the back end. Just forget it. We're wiping the slate clean. Wipe it clean. We're good to go. So the 2-year deal they gave me was instantly a huge cut in pay, because we knew going in that this merge was going to be a bad thing for the wrestlers. It's not good when there's only one team. If there's just the WWF, then we got no negotiating power. So whatever deal they threw at me, I was going to say, okay, because you have to. So, I took probably a $600,000 pay cut on $175 the first year and $225 the second. That was the contract I signed. Now this ain't like an NFL contract. You don't get paid if you don't get paid if you get hurt. You don't get paid if you get fired. These things, your money goes away when you go away in the world of wrestling. So I'm signed to this deal, and also the WWF went on a weekly pay scale instead of bi-weekly. So that bi-weekly paycheck is pretty big at WCW because it's every 2 weeks. Well, the first check that came in for me at the WWF was $3,365.38. And I was like, this has got to be a mistake. So I get my calculator out, of course, 175 divided by 52 weeks, and I got $3,365.38. And I was devastated. My house mortgage, hell, my JAG payment was $1,700 a month. So everything, I knew already, but everything had to go. The car had to go. My house had to go. My house was $5,500 a month. It's all gone. Pills and alcohol doubled instantly because of depression, man. And I mean, not quite yet because I wasn't fired yet, but I was depressed. I'm losing my house. I'm still making $175,000 a year. That's a great living, but not when you're used to making 6 or 7. It's not. So here it is, the grand total of what Marcus Buff Bagwell made at the WWF is 4 weeks times $3,365.38. And the grand total is $13,461.53. That was my grand total. I think WCW's was 3.1 million, I think. But that's way far away, brother. But it's really sad that what happened, but man, it is what it is. It is what happened, and that is the amount we got paid. I got paid. After the WWF, there were a few small checks that came in from merchandise and stuff. Nothing I remember. So it wasn't nothing like thousands of dollars, but it was a very low amount. But then when I had that fight with the WWF about them not paying me, and I tried to sue them for my money, that got ugly, of course, and of course they didn't pay me anything after that. So I have not and do not receive any money from the WWF anymore, or WWE, and but hopefully in the future that will change. I would love to be under their umbrella, but that is the truth, and that is exactly what happened in my career at the WWF. $13,461.53 was the grand total of the World Wrestling Federation. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button to stay in the loop for all future videos. And if you're interested in cool NWO shirts like this one right here or other wrestling sports merch, click the link in the description of the video to jump over to Fanatics and place your order today. Ha ha!